My name is Anne from OmFlowYogi.com. I am an experienced pre- and postnatal yoga teacher and a transition coach, primarily focused on supporting parents as they transition through parenthood. Today, we're going to talk about a topic I feel like we don't touch on enough in the parenthood community, but in general. This idea of release and grace. And so we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive in what I think is the number one tool for the first year of parenthood, but it's a great tool for everyone, anywhere. So let's talk about it. No matter how well we plan and communicate and navigate a situation, there's always going to be stuff that happens that we didn't predict, that we don't want. And if we become too obsessed with following a plan or having the outside world be absolutely perfect, we're not going to find joy. We're going to be pretty unhappy. This idea of releasing, giving ourselves grace is critical for any part of our life, but especially when we're experiencing a tremendous amount of transitions and a lot of external change. Today, I'm going to guide you through a surrender practice. I'm going to use the word release, but I am also going to use the word surrender and grace. And I want to redefine those words for you right now. I love the work of Byron Katie, and she talks about fighting reality a lot in her work. I'm going to tap into that a little bit. So surrender is basically no longer fighting what is. When I heard her speak about this, a light bulb went off in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, like how much time do I waste fighting what is? And instead of thinking of surrender as waving this white flag of saying like, I give up on life, it's saying I give up spending energy, burning calories, trying to control the uncontrollable. And I'm just going to let that be what it is and instead spend my time focusing on me, how I react to it, and how I navigate from here. That's going to be our surrender practice. Grace, I just want you to think of it as giving yourself permission to be a human, giving yourself space to be as you are without needing to change. I developed this practice and I love having it just readily available for myself when I'm feeling resistant to what is, when I'm feeling super rigid, when things are changing around me that do not align with my plan at all. And I call it the trust practice. And so we'll walk through each one of those letters and what it means. So T, take a breath. So that's the first step. And the reason why breath is so critical is because our body is in the present moment. So if you've seen my meditation videos or read any of the stuff that I talked about from a mindfulness standpoint, when we take a breath, we become more present in our body. It also, especially if it's a low, deep, slow breath, it helps engage the parasympathetic nervous system. It starts telling the body, I am safe. So it starts to really fire off amazing things in our body to help us navigate the outside world. T, take a breath. R, resist fighting reality. So I take that deep breath. I spend a moment to be inside myself and ask, how am I fighting what is? So if we were to go to an example of a first-time parent and my kid isn't sleeping and I'm getting upset, if I'm spending a lot of time focused on the fact that my kid isn't sleeping, I'm fighting reality. The reality is my kid isn't sleeping right now, and I need to figure out how to navigate it from here. So instead of getting so upset, like, why won't you sleep? Although we've all felt that, I'm going to let that be for just a second. R, resist fighting reality. Next, U, understand you're doing the best you can. This is where we bring grace into the practice. So I took my deep breath. I realize I'm fighting reality in this situation, so my kid's not sleeping. Giving myself some grace. I'm going to understand I'm doing the best I can, and that I I need to exist from that space before I can take the right next step. S, say, think something kind. Originally, when I wrote this, it's some kind self-talk. That could be the you understand you're doing the best you can, but that say could also be for the person I'm engaging with. Saying something nice is, I'm doing the best I can, and you're doing the best you can, and I'm going to ground myself in something that's kinder to both of us before I can understand that next step. Or maybe my kind self-talk is, I am a good mom and I love you, dear child that will not sleep. S, say, think something kind. And T is take one action. That is not planning out 20 things. Maybe my one action is I'm gonna put my baby down if it's a young baby and just gather myself for 2 minutes where the baby is safe, I am safe, and I'm just gonna keep breathing and be present in my body. And that's the one action I'm gonna take. Maybe I'm gonna rock my baby and research some sleep supports that I can get virtually in my community, etc. Maybe I'm going to, if I have a partner, communicate with my partner that I need support. Maybe it's reaching out to a loved one to say, we've had some really challenging nights and I would love some help. Or maybe it's doing some online research. But the moment you catch yourself going down that rabbit hole of trying to control the outside world, come back to this practice. Take a breath. Resist fighting reality. Understand you're doing the best you can. I'm going to say one nice thing about myself, maybe the other person that I'm engaging with, and then I'm going to take one action. And this is a beautiful practice that you can keep with you. It's mindfulness in movement, really. It's taking our mindfulness practice off the mat, off the cushion, and into the reality of what life is. And it will not only make us feel better, but it will support everyone around us. It's a great emotional regulation tool. Take that trust practice with you. If you liked it, you will find this practice and many other things in my ebook, Planning for Birth and Parenthood. You can download it for free, omflowyogi.com/ebook. Really, my goal is to make internal work just as readily available as the external work. You subscribe, hit that bell so that way you get the notifications whenever new videos pop up. And in closing, may you feel safe, may you feel loved, may you feel supported. Thanks for joining me today.